Alright, welcome to my Garn Nighthowl guide. For this I'm going to be showing you how to farm Garn Nighthowl using you plus any other ranged DPS that does more damage than you, and any other ranged DPS can do, but it's preferable if he does more damage. You're going to be using this ledge, and over here is Garn Nighthowl, and I have my mate already set up to help me with the wolves here. These 3 wolves, you need to get rid of them, just tame them and abandon them. It's super easy, and I'm just going to be showing you how it's done here. Tame, abandon, super duper. He polys the middle one after that. I trap this one. He pulls the boss away. I tame both of them. And he's going to reset the boss with his invisibility. This does it so you don't have 3 wolves running after you, one-shotting you, or pretty close to while you're killing the boss, which is always preferable. So you see the boss is on the way back to me. So you just quickly abandon and Feign Deaths. Good. Now I'm just going to be setting this guy as my focus target to show you if your ranged DPS partner was doing less damage than you. You want to be using Lone Wolf for this. Any other challenge is just DPS maximization. You want to be using preferably Survival because you're not going to be standing still a whole lot, and you want to have Post Haste. Post Haste is extremely important, and for glyphs you probably want to have Tame Beast and Glyph of Disengage. And Pathfinding is always preferable because you're going to be running away from this guy a lot. So I start off by just pulling him here. I'll just damage him a bit. Then I'll disengage with Aspect of the Cheetah on. Run up here where my mate is stood on the edge of this tip. You see the tip up there? And as soon as I reach the tip of the shadow of this cliff, I'm going to disengage. Let him hit the boss a couple of times to get some aggro. I'm going to Feign Death. The boss is going to run to my partner. And yeah, that's basically it. I taunt here just before it reaches him. And since he gains a speed buff in phase 1 now, which he didn't before the nerf, you just run away from him with disengage and post haste, and he runs back to your mate. You taunt, keep DPSing. As soon as the taunt debuff runs out, he's going to be going back to your mate. You see, like, every time I taunt him, he's going to gain a debuff that says taunted. And because your mate has higher aggro than you, it's just going to go back to him every time the debuff runs out. And you just keep doing this over and over and over until the boss reaches 50%, at which point he will start casting an ability called Call of the Pack. This ability is a 2-second or 3-second channel, which increases his movement speed by 40% for, I think it's 20 seconds, I could be wrong, it doesn't really matter, since at 50% and lower, he starts running way slower than he did before. So you're not going to have any problems kiting him whatsoever. And what you want to do is taunt around this area, so you have exactly enough time to get away from the boss when he gets close to you, and you want to try to keep the boss in range of your partner at all times possible. Yeah, I'm just going to cut out the sound here, because otherwise I'm going to be talking for the next like 5 minutes while we're killing this boss. And yeah, hope you enjoy. This is a method I forgot to mention. We got it down, if you server hop effectively, we got this method down to farming 10 Garn Nighthows per hour. We do this run in about 6 minutes with taming of the pets. And each Garn Nighthowl sells for about 4.5 or 5k. If the market is really flooded, you sell it for about 3.5, which is not as good, but you know, it's still pretty good money for the time you're putting into it. So split between 2 and 50,000 gold an hour, I'd say you could make for an hour's work, 25,000 gold. I don't think that's a wrong estimate to use. If you guys get some other numbers, please let me know. But I think this is pretty accurate. You can't keep doing this. It's not like you can just keep farming 3 hours and you'll have 75,000 gold and just keep on going because the market is only limited. Of course, basic economics. But for an hour's work, like as soon as you have your amount sold, then it's 25,000 gold. And all you need to do is just master this little bit annoying method, but it works, and you'll see it works because when you start to server hop, you'll see that this boss might be dead on a ton of different servers from other people learning the trick as well. I mean, you can solo this as a hunter, but it involves setting your pet up on the top and taunting with that, or taunting to your pet using the Glyph of Distracting Shot, which it's not as optimal. It goes way slower, and the taming of the wolves is a lot more difficult and not as foolproof of this method. So yeah, I would suggest this one if you're using anything. Yeah, okay, I kept talking anyway, I'm just gonna let it run. Yeah, that's also a side note. If you're forgetting to taunt because I'm talking like I did right there, your mage can alter time and jump down, then alter time back up. It's super simple. And yeah, Garn Nighthowl dead. As you see, pretty easy method. You can check the timer how long we took. It wasn't too long. I owe my mate a mount, so I'm just going to give him to him here. And yeah, thanks for watching.